just down here, and they've got Australian fruit here.
Anybody needs to use this.
It's got a blue thing on it, and male, female, and there's braille.
I'll stick the hair on high
They get all sorts of bits off the bits, cut them down like that. That was nothing like
yeah. People all in the world now, they're quite supervised on how they do their job.
But he does not coloration.
It's not the colony.
Not the crocodile. Your best left crocodile is best left to overseas people who are good at it.
And that's a shame, isn't it?
No, that's the trouble when you buy these black quick you sit on them, they're all out of shape.
Yes, no, they're all good.
Like when you just throw them on the floor, on the carpet and flying them. So what?
Yeah,
Let me just get in first. Just assistant.
Yeah, you're doing.
want to start at the... Okay, everybody in for it. Walk this way.
99% of the stuff all goes along this procedure Mary's going to tell you.
Is just to line up your pockets and your products so they're all straight. And this is an Italian folding machine, and it used to operate with a hand. So you can imagine trying to fold your stuff on. So he converted it to a foot. Yeah, I've got to push it out there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's a little Italian gluing machine which glues the product. Yeah, you can smell it, yes. Hey Philip, can you put the extractor on please, love?
What?
The extractor?
I'd have a line-up machine, something that I...
You already done that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Came up with.
And apparently this is Danish. This is a big splitting machine. No, part of our business is actually contract manufacturers. We have a big catalogue of stuff we make, which is what's on Wild Harry pretty much. And so we make what they ask. And they send us their skin. This is Crocosaurus cove. And that's Crocosaurus cove. Now they, in those boxes there, and they have, in all of this, they have, they're in bed with Hermes and Vuitton. So they have massive crocodile farms, huge crocodile farms. So they can kill thousands of them. And they also have access to the Singapore tanneries because the two big companies now own those things as far as we know. So they make it difficult for other people like Heather and John Lever and everybody to get in there. We also have skin from Valerie Douglas, which is out in a container. It's not in here. Now this is Dicroco skin. She's been forced to use French tanning. So if you feel that, and she's been struggling to get them to tan it to a standard. That's Dicroco. That's an Australian skin. But you
It's
can
not a
see
silly question, how does one kill a crocodile?
Right.
Like they might spear them or something because they've all got a...
some people incorporate that into their product, would you believe? Now this is an Italian one. This is John Lever's. Yes, it is nice. Some of them, when they get bigger, are a bit bawdy and stiff. They do a veg idea on their tanning sometimes.
Yeah, like the French.
A French veg it up too much, which means it gets stiff.
That's nice.
Yes, it is nice.
And
It's
it's
interesting. I think, I really don't know, and it's just more like a tourist parky idea now, but I'm really not sure about that. Now, yeah, well, that's what I reckon.
Bit too
Now-
slow. Bit slower.
He's been around.
a long time, he's in his 70s, yeah. Now this, sorry, this is a hair on hide.
What?
A hair on hide cow. Now this is either Argentinian or Italian.
Yeah.
And all they are is a mat, and you can see how lovely and soft. So they're easy to work with to turn into a product, and they're really popular. And his hair doesn't fall out. Yes. Yes.
I couldn't think of anything worse, but that's me.
Now this is our Spanish goat.
Oh, nice.
He's from Spain. Yes, and he's tanned in Spain.
I don't like
And he
the
has-
hair, but I like the feel of it.
Yes, yes.
And the colours are interesting.
And he's got a mane and everything. So he's one of those ones that... And now, ostrich skin.
Use that there a bit.
Okay?
Use that piece a bit.
Yep. Now this is Australian tanned and Australian grown. Okay? So, not good. Yes, it's horrible.
Where do they tan them in Australia? Where's the tan them?
South Australia or Victoria?
Yeah, South Australia there was a good fellow doing it. We've been 2 or 3 places around Australia doing it, but we don't tend to get any. We get them from South Africa.
Yeah, this is the South African one. And same as that red one. This one was nearly $800 for this skin. So, ostrich. But tanned in Africa. He's laid out for me to think about making a purse, but when I priced it out, it would have to be about a $1,300 purse, handbag, because of the amount of skin he uses.
It is about the most durable.
It's really, this is quite a pretty skin actually. And see how
I've had a
lovely
lady
they've
at
got.
about 80-year-old bring me in.
When you look at that,
she was
look at
given
that crocodile one,
writing
that's
compendium
there's a
when
big
she was
difference.
about 80.
Yeah, you
Brought
can see
it in the
there's
sun, and I couldn't believe it.
pros and cons
You
in
open it up and the
all of
spine's
this
not
stuff.
cracky or anything.
If he stops, that's a front pocket for that bag purse we're making now.
Yeah.
This here is all knives for all different products. But if you're making, say, just a standard hip wallet, the ladies' long, which is that one there, we're making for John and Heather, is virtually in one drawer, except it's got one pocket in this drawer. So, but if you're doing a hip wallet, that's just a standard hip wallet, you'll go between 4 drawers. Now we've all got it on computer sheets. So here, this here. That's our computer sheet that tells you which knife we need of what colour and how many.
Wow.
Right? But these are very difficult for people to follow. So he's just been computerised or whatever it is. You just got to look at your leathers, you don't want horrible marks or anything like that in it. So, how high has he got this? Should be alright. Right. Now this is the front pocket, which is going now. See? Quick? Yes, yes. It's not so quick when you're doing like $400.
One sheet at a time.
Yeah, we got some gang knives which cut 2 at a time, but mostly it's because you've got to sort of pick your way through stuff. So this one here will have a second cut which will put a hole in it. Okay, I can show that later. So once we got that, that's it. Yes. Right, this machine here, oh, we've emptied the bin, that would have been interesting. This goes through like this, right? This is called a splitter. Right? It's still too thick, right? That's come off the pressure. Sorry, and now you've got this bit. That's what came off. No. I'll show you why in a second.
So what do you do with that?
Don't get your
I
fingers
used
caught in
to
there.
make my garden beds, and that's how they get away with it. And you can keep going to really fine.
We don't do any of that sort of shit here.
Bit. So you run it through this. There's the other lady. Can you see that? So you run it through this. Now in this case here, fold
going
that.
down there too.
Yeah, he's all right. He's used to it.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
See how thin that is?
I can
Yeah.
smell it.
So we can, with this piece here, and we just put them in these. This is thinners, which is the dangerous part. And that's what the extraction's for, to take the thinners out. Now this piece here would be technically fully glued and then fabric put on it. But just to show you how the thing works. Okay.
That can be done like half an hour ahead before it gets
Yeah, and then it goes through one of these machines. It looks like I've put this Teflon thing on and it hasn't glued down properly. That's so that you can put glue on it in a Teflon, there's a Teflon sheet and it just brushes off. We've got it in a sheet we've had for years. But this won't be ready for gluing for quite some time. But that's how you get your pockets. You fold the pockets down onto fabric. These boxes, if you have a read of them, they'll say whether they're fabric or leather. No leather kept up there, but fabric or cardboard or foam. And each of these has in it, or do whatever we need to if we haven't made it for years. But now we don't sort of have that problem anymore. And that's so people know what we're making. So this is another one. This is what we're making for John and Heather. And this means if it's for John, you got leather croc, so it tells us which ones we got to click out in leather or crocodile. And there's a big, this used to be done this way, but we do it as a great big piece of leather now. And this is leather. In the case of these purses, this is crocodile. And as you imagine, that's quite thin. So the crocodile's got to be able to come down to a proper working thickness. So that's where the tanning comes in, how well the tanner's done. Tanners earn lots of money without any repercussions on them, unfortunately. They really do. So once we've assembled it, we've got the machines, various machines to stitch them. This one here does leather and fabric. He's been really handy with the whole face mask thing, because we just changed his needle and he stitched the fabric. And then that one there's our main one. You can see that one there does most of the work. It's a really good sewing machine, very hard to get apparently.
Oh wow.
Beautiful.
Yep, and this is what John sells. That's how he sells his. You can see the difference. But you do have, and this is not a style he gets. He doesn't get this style. He gets that style, a smaller wallet. But you can see the huge difference that the crocodile on the inside makes. And he's the only one doing it at the moment. So it's expensive. There's more crocodile on the inside of this than there is on the outside. So you're looking at a lot of expensive crocodile. So that's, and the other one is, this is an interesting one. This is what we call a golfer's wallet, because it has everything. It has a coin purse and a picture flap. Now, the reason that there's crocodile here and not in the other one is when you get a glazed skin, if you put crocodile in there and you do that, it's going to craze crack. Doesn't matter how good the skin is, doing that will put big crazes cracking in the glaze down there. So that's why you have a different configuration inside a glazed skin to an inside of a matte skin, sorry. See, all you do, these two little pieces have a fair bit behind them, so they are actually the same, close to the same size as the bridge, so you're not getting any less skin. It's just you don't see as much skin. So that's how we do a coin purse. It's all leather. Inside the gussets and everything. So those bits of leather have got to come down and feel this. No, it won't hurt you. No, here.
Oh, right.
Oh, here. It's only a bit of glue.
Yeah, I have an eye.
See, now I need to adjust that so that sits there. So there's a little adjustment thing there. There you go, that fits better. And this will have fabric on it. There you go. And I didn't have it quite, see that side sticking up? Yep, that should have been flat. This one here could have come back this way a bit. But that's fairly thin. Now you can feel. And they will sit funny without fabric in there. The fabric helps hold the shape. So you can feel how thin that fold is.
the pattern cutting and things like that and then I found that I could actually cut out the cardboard boxes, and this one that I'm about to show you here at the moment is just where we do a test piece to make sure that the laser is set at the good height and good timing for the particular job. You can see here what we say the safety light is what it's on at the moment, and to make sure that I've got everything in the right place for cutting out, I can go through here, trace frame, yeah, and you see here now it quickly runs around and just does a little, make sure it shows me with the light where it's going to cut. After that, it's only a 2.5 watt laser, if you can believe that. It's a diode laser, and they're really, really good for getting very fine type work done if you want to do design work or I've got anything handy. I should have got a bit more organised for that. That's like a butterfly wing or something like that. You can do all sorts of that type of stuff. It doesn't get much chance for doing that. So here at this stage now I've done my test run. I just tell it to go ahead. Yes. With this stuff on here I can actually look through it and it's all right, but that's doing the cutting now, and what it's doing, this is one I did a little bit earlier. All it's doing at the moment is doing the cut around for that, and then doing a lesser cut, so when we do the cardboard box folding I need it to be able to cut just halfway through the cardboard, so that it'll enable us to do all that type of thing. Yeah.
Perfectly straight then, isn't it?
So we'll come back to this in a couple of minutes after you see with the clicker board it gets all these cuts in it over a period of time. Gets a bit rough when the knife cuts through, so I put a bit of firm paper on it and it allows us to always remember to knock the bits of leather out as you go. Should give me nearly enough of those. I won't have to split these, they're already at a thickness about 2.8mm, which would be pretty good for this job. Okay, that should give us enough details, I think. Got to watch this, I've cut myself, just nearly dropped the knife before. That's super sharp. So you can see it.
Sorry?
Will cut you no problem. Now, when we make most of the key tags we do, we use the first cut knife, we call it, and when I designed it out originally in AutoCAD, that's pretty much shows a picture of what I was after as a finished key tag, which is what you see there, sort of thing. That's the first cut size, which is 2.5mm bigger all the way around. Bit skimpy, but when you do crocodile and you've got people that you're doing it for, they want to know that you're not wasting it. So that gets cut, then we get the second cut, which is the knife I was just using here before. That's basically the shape there. The reason we do that also is things like this, as you see the rivets not just coming right the way through, so if you need to do anything further, like in the case of crocodile and so on, you can get the skive around the edges and give it profile shaping and all that type of thing before then you glue it all together, then you come along after it's put together and then you do your second cut. So in this case we're up to there now. Past that point, because I've done that on the AutoCAD drawings to start with, I'm then able to do an extrusion. I'm able to do it to the 3D printer type of thing where I say, okay, now I've got that shape, I want it this high up, same with the letters. I print out the letters and then I break it up into items and then I extrude the letters so that we now have that onto the plastic. And then I decide, okay, I can also do a guide. So in this case here, now I can go like that, put this on. Now, with the adjusting of this machine, I know I want to get it down to about that point there and probably a little bit less. So I just adjust that down a little bit more and I'll test that on a piece of this leather. Put that down in the guide, put that in there, and move that out the way. We're going to guide that right down in there. Okay, see what we get. Not too bad, probably could be a little bit more. Sometimes if I want to do a decent job, I'll do it a couple of times. So for a piece of plastic, it's not too bad there. And I'll pop these ones while we're here.
Got the right showing.
Normally we cut all the pins up and out, just cardboard pins. These are little magnets that I was able to print out. I bought little magnets like that, as a super magnet, and they come in handy when you want to hold something down. Put a big metal sheet in there, and then I could never get them off. Put them on the thing here and then be breaking your fingernails and stuff like that. So I designed that, and now it's just a case of throw them in place. You can actually play darts with them on a bit of metal. So so yeah, you print that out, super glue it in there, and that way I've got stacks of them always ready to pop around. What I tend to do is I do 2 cuts. First cut I'll do it twice the speed as to what it would do if it was doing 1, and that means it only cuts halfway through. That shows me everywhere where I'm going to have to put magnets so it doesn't lift up with the sucker where I was going. So then I just give it another run of the same thing and it cuts it all out. So that it's very quick and repeatable where you put your size stamps on a given product. So all these cardboard pieces in here are designed to be screwed down onto this as a general rule, and then it'll have it positioning wise. You can muck with the positioning a bit forward and back, but normally it'll put it exactly where you want it to every time, so you don't have to spend 10 minutes or more setting it up every time. It's pop it in and you're right to go. So that's the first one of those, and I'll get them done. Now, Philip, you there, Philip?
Yeah.
You want to do the setup for the rings on these? I probably should give them a bit of a quick polish.
What's that one?
These ones here, you can just polish around the outside so that when they got the bit and give it a rub on top. Yeah. Doing around the outside, I'll have these quicker than I'll get these here by the time you polish them. Now with the metal one, you got the advantage of using the heat as well, so you can actually do foil. You can't do foil with the plastic. But these are, you see through there, that's where it's been stamped before. And I'll do one for the hell of it on here. So if I wanted that silver, there you get the foil. So a lot of the time products get the foil on, but also foil can be a bit finicky about how well it sticks on some leathers that won't stick well on this type of leather because it's all got waxes put on the top. So you need leathers that are dry without any finishes on to get a good adhesion. So I decided to go for the silver one. The gold rings are getting a bit tattery. I haven't got any new ones this month.
Got one?
Yeah, I've seen.
And this, unfortunately, I've got it going up in 0.15 of a millimetre at its step.
Oh, okay.
So I can take that up to 2 mil or 3 mil steps. It just comes out a bit rougher.
No.